Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Psychology Eats. So, what's eating you? So, as you can see from the video title, this is about the dangers of providing psychotherapy, counseling, social work in the field of psychology human services. So, this video is not only for newcomers that are coming into the field, but also as a reminder to some of us that have been in the field for many years. So this is targeted toward psychologists, psychiatrists, social workers, human services workers, county case workers, psychotherapists, juvenile justice workers, anybody who's working in direct contact with clients or consumers, depending on where you work, your agency, patients, whatever you call people that you help. So most of us come into this field because we want to help people, that we're people persons. And so we want to help people. We want to help people go from maybe a difficult situation and help them get to better situations. So we come in with this helping spirit about us as people ourselves. And so we don't expect to go into these situations and be hurt, physically hurt or killed. But this is a cautionary tale, a cautionary video that sometimes we may end up in situations as workers where we could possibly be hurt. And so, excuse me, over the last 25 years that I've worked in this field, I could probably tell you maybe 5 stories or incidences where colleagues that I've known personally that have been hurt or injured, one person kidnapped, in this field. So it's not anything that happens all the time. I would say it's rare that someone is killed or injured, but it happens. And oftentimes, like, the news media will pick stories up like that. And so it'll kind of look like it happens all the time to people in this field. But the verbal abuse, I'm going to say, happens every day, all the time, depending on the job you work at. If you work in a rehab, or you maybe work for children's services and you're involved in maybe removing children from the home, you're going to get cursed out. So that part of it, as social workers, therapists, we have to have a thick skin, because not everybody's going to love you. Not everyone is going to like you. And your position you may be put in a position where you have to make some decisions about your client that they're not going to like. So some of our clients come to us because they want treatment. Some come to us because they are mandated into treatment. And so for oftentimes when they're mandated into treatment, they don't want to be there, and so they're not always cooperative, and they're not always nice. And so we have, as clinicians, we have to be able to deal with that and not take it personally. But that is very difficult. So I think you, as a newcomer, be aware of that. Not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody is going to be grateful for you being in their life. Some people may hate you, and they're not going to hesitate to tell you that. So I'm going to give some tips on how to maintain safety. I've been in this field for over 25 years. I've worked in difficult environments. I have had to use restraints to keep myself safe. I've had to flee to keep myself safe. I have chose not to go into an environment because it didn't feel right to me, and I didn't think I would be safe in that situation. but I've never been physically harmed. I mean, I've had to, in over the years, I've had to, like I just said, restrain kids or whatever, kids in situations, back, years ago. But I've never been physically harmed, thank God. But I've known people, colleagues that have been attacked, physically attacked. So it happens. So my suggestion is, I'm looking down at my paper. My suggestion is that, first of all, you rely on your instincts. So my instincts have saved me my instincts have saved me in ways that I don't even know exactly how my instincts saved me. I just know that I didn't feel right going into a situation, and so I didn't go into the situation. I either canceled the appointment. I'm sorry, I had to plug that back in. I've either canceled the appointment, or I just didn't go into the environment, or I kept my, maybe if I'm working in clinic, I'll keep my door cracked. I know for me, if I'm working in an office setting, I always position my desk in a way that I can escape if I needed to do that, which is something I tell, people that come into this field, new people that come into the field, that I know you want a cute office and I know you want it to look cute, but the design of your office, the first part of your office space needs to be safety. And I think for a lot of newcomers, they don't think in that way, that come in the field. They want their office to be cute. Your office needs to be safe. And so the first tip I would say is rely on your instinct. If something doesn't feel right, go with that. Be aware of your surroundings. I've worked in urban areas. I've worked in drug infested, criminal environments, where safety was an issue, and I was aware of who's over there, who's behind me, who's in front of me. I got out my car and made sure I was good. I keep that same energy, and I have kept that same energy even if I'm working with a family who lives in $1 million mansion, and I've done that. And I will go into that mansion with the same energy that I use if I'm in the ghetto or wherever I am. If I'm in the country, I'm using that same energy. I am aware of my surroundings. Where is everybody at in this house? What's going on? Do you got a dog? Where's the cat? Where your grandma? I need to know who's in the house, who's in here, and I don't care where I go, what environment I am. I am aware of my surroundings. Always let someone know where you are. Always let someone know, your supervisor, a co-worker. I'm going over to the Smith's house. I'll be at the Johnsons. I'm going over to wherever. Let a supervisor or someone know. And I know in a lot of county workers and social workers, they have that. Like, you clock out. You tell someone, I'll be at this house. Usually we give our schedules, and that helps us to track where everyone is. Even if you get a call from a client and it's like some emergency going on, you make sure you tell somebody where you're going. That is so important, because if anything happens, they'll know. I knew a coworker of mine, this happened 20 years ago. She was kidnapped, but she didn't show up to where she should have been. And so we were like, what happened to her? We were worried about her. And so then that got the ball rolling as to what happened to her, and that she had been kidnapped by a client. And so it turned out fine. She's fine. But it happened. And so be aware. So always let a coworker or supervisor know where you are. And be alert. Be alert. So all five of your senses need to be like, all the eyes, you need to be boop, 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 right? The ears. I might be in a room with a client and I'm listening to that client, but I'm also listening to what's happening outside of that door. I'm listening to what's going on in the kitchen. I'm listening. I have an awareness of what's happening. I'm using all of my senses, right? Everything, so that if anything happens that I'm not comfortable with, I can get out of that situation. I walked into someone's, it was a group home, and it just didn't, something wasn't right. Something just didn't feel right in the doorway. I was in the doorway, and I was like, oh, I gotta go. I got another appointment, and I left. And it was, I'm so glad I followed my instincts, because something not so nice happened. But I was able to get help to go into that group home. So, I mean, I have stories like that, but over the course of my career, it hasn't been anything that I would say I would suggest people don't come into this career. I think you can have a wonderful career in social work and social services and being a clinician. I just think you need to be aware. You have to have that sense of awareness. And I'm really grateful for, when I was studying to get my master's, my supervisor, the dean over my program, was very honest about that, and she warned us, and I never forgot it. Like, she said you have to be aware, especially if you decide to do a practice in your a private practice. I think those people are most vulnerable, because oftentimes it's just you and your client in your home or in your office space. And so where is your protection? For us that maybe work in a bigger clinic, we can have like a safety plan. And that's kind of new to the field too. We didn't always have safety plans. But I know wherever I've worked in the last 10 years, I was like an advocate of that. Like, what's our safety drill? What are we going to do if something happens? Should we lock our doors? Should we keep them unlocked? Like all of that. So I would just say that, remember that some clients are not going to love you. Some clients may blame you for certain things that have happened in their life, and they could come in with a vengeance to hurt you as a clinician, psychiatrist, psychologist, whatever. So you have to be aware, and you have to, number one, trust your gut. If your gut says it's not right, something is wrong, don't go in that room, don't go in that house, don't close that office door. Follow your gut. Don't worry about maybe feeling like, ashamed or there, people are gonna, think I'm scared. It's whatever. Okay, they can feel however they feel, but you have to, and a good supervisor is going to really, support you. A good supervisor is going to be like, I get it. You didn't feel comfortable. You didn't feel safe. You made the right call. That's it. You didn't do that house visit, that home visit. I hear you. You know what? We'll go together next time. Or we'll tell the client to come to the office because you don't feel safe in their house. Period. That's it. We want people to have longevity in this field, and stay and be a support to people. And so, we want you to feel safe and be able to do that in a way that you go home at night. So that is it for this video. Please like, share, and subscribe if you have not already subscribed. And if you are new to me and my videos, Thank you for joining Psychology Eats.